feeling?
It's I'd say as good as I could be.
Sorry.
At the moment. It's definitely better than I was yesterday for sure.
What's the pain been like? I mean, what degree of pain?
Well, I never felt this before. Really, my first reaction is I felt something pop in my back, and that's why really I was trying to get out of the car as soon as I could, because the position I was in, I couldn't breathe at all. I still have a tough time breathing, but literally when I felt it pop, I couldn't move at all, and I knew I had to get flat to my back to be able to breathe again, and so that's why I rushed out and then just laid flat on the ground to try to start breathing at that point.
That must have been terrifying. I mean, scary.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it wasn't good, whatever, because I'd been through so much back stuff before that I know when something is really, really wrong, and that one was a moment that took about 2 seconds, and I knew I was in big trouble.
So, go ahead.
You got to be a proponent for safer barriers at this point, since you glanced into a part where there was nothing. And I mean, your car, I don't know if you've watched the video yet. Have you had a chance to watch the video? You just bounced up in the air.
Yeah, it's just, man, we'll just find every hole that there is. There's just no safe place that a safer barrier shouldn't be. I know that there's kind of protocol between NASCAR and the tracks to distinguish where safer barriers should be, because they do cost a lot of money and they cost the tracks a lot. But I'm sure when we go back, there'll be one there, and it's just it's unfortunate. It takes wrecks like here and what we saw like at Watkins Glen for them to kind of refigure these tracks into where they need to be safety wise.
You're grabbing your ribs, or you were in the brace?
It's hard to breathe. It's just so hard to breathe at this point. And like I said, I have to be 100% straight. There's no bending or anything like that. I just run out of breath, and I'm just obviously medicated a lot.
What are the next steps as far as meeting with Dr. Petty? Do you know when that'll happen and stuff like that?
I think the preliminary is either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to go see him. I think he's going to spend tomorrow looking at scans to distinguish what the next step is. We're kind of leaving the analyzing for him on what to do, either surgery wise or just stick with a brace and let it heal itself. Either way, obviously both of them take a lot of time.
Has Joey made any attempt to call you at this point?
No, I haven't. I've heard from pretty much all my peers, which has been for me humbling to say the least. I just I'm very it makes me really happy and keeps your spirits up when you hear from all your peers and everything. So it's that part of it's been very encouraging.
Huge support from the fan base as well.
It's like I say, it goes along with the peers. It's equal. You between 30 of your peers and thousands of race fans. It's it's amazing how the NASCAR community, whether they pull for you or not, they care about you and they care about your health.
How do you view? Do you view the incident as what happened as a product of hard racing, or a product of your rivalry, or how do you look at it?
I think it's a little bit of both. If I had to, characterize it, I really went out of my way throughout the day to get the 22 room in a lot of different places. He raced me really hard, really the entire event, and obviously other guys as well. But at the end, I think he saw I was going to win, and he just he wasn't going to let that happen.
Is it premature to ask whether or not you expect to be in Martinsville? Because a lot of the fans are asking that question.
It's so tough to say. While I'm discharging, I'm sitting in a chair and I'm kind of putting my feet up, my hands up, trying to see what I can do. But with NASCAR's substance abuse policy and everything, you've got to be clear for a few days with no medication and everything, and that at this point that would be really tough for me to see where I'm going to be from. Yeah, I just know from yesterday to today I'm a lot better, but I don't know how long this process takes. I read up on it a little bit, and nothing I read sounds too encouraging on what my next couple months is going to be like.
Thank God you have the off week, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of similar to when I had the ACL in 2010. We had an off week, and then we went to Phoenix, and it's a little different. This one is tough because it's your core. It's your whole centerpiece of your body, and that really takes a lot of G's and things like that anyway. So I just don't know, how my body will react to being in a car. And obviously we've got some big obstacles as far as just getting in a car with the bracing that I need, because there's no way at this point I could get in a car with no bracing. I have to be perfectly vertical. I can't be twisted in any kind of way. So along with that, if we don't do surgery, then you've got you do have a fracture, so you can't. I don't want to make it worse. It's not worth that.